Welcome back to Just Fantastic Crafts channel. Today we're back at Sunless Sea and yeah, I am back. I couldn't figure out how to post updates on YouTube. This is yes. And I haven't played this in about 4 weeks. So yeah, let me just quickly remind myself of where we are. Adam's Way, we should be exploring here and here. We also saw a port which we couldn't reach. So this might be our goal today, to reach that port, and for now we don't have much things to worry about other than we're kind of low on supplies, but alas, we shall continue on our merry way and hopefully find something. And I had a break because, well, I went on a vacation, and yeah, I could only make videos for about 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks in advance, and after that I was kind of out of time for recording, and we had to go and such. But I did manage to take my computer, although I didn't have any time to actually record. Wait, a hiss of horror from the lookout. Let's this spin them a story. We can. A hiss of horror from the lookout. The gleam lamps of the front of the ship is sputtering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch the blue fades, it's not a good omen. And because we have a lot of mental strength, we can use our hearts to calm them. And of course, it wouldn't be me or my channel if I didn't start sneezing the moment I started recording. It's a perfectly natural explanation. Light meets dark. The darkness in the need is more than the absence of light. It's physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explain something of this to your sailors. It's not the first time they've heard it. They seem slightly less nervous. Hooray! I managed to calm my people down. And yet again, I am low on food, but alas. But you gotta find something. Nope, nothing new at least. Distant bells. I mean, a buttery bloom of light to the on the southern corner approached Varkas, the mirrored city. What is this mirrored city? Okay, so quite a ways away. As I said, fuel is fine, but supplies aren't. But we should be coming into port soon. Docks. Porter Donmes on Varkas. You have a secret? Let's dock. The burning white light of Varkas. The walled city of Varkas is a tangle, the mirrored city where light is always the law. Of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers slow blooming around mouldering stone. A quinnox of carved step towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A roof-shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varkas. Two towering carved stone lamps throw their light in the angled mirrors, and the blue cloaked guard stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the elder continent. In the far distance, a vast mountain glimmers. Let's see what we have. Tell the guard you wish to enter. Well, what else are gates for if not to go through? PowerPort report. That's what you want to know. Yes, let's make a port report. The city and its glories. Tone down the details of a light and its brilliance. You don't want to inspire envy in the Admiralty staff. And let's see what we have. Choke on the smell. It's overpowering sweet. It comes from the fungus growing wild all over the city stones. The sailors wave you over. They are sitting on some unturned crates on the docks, playing a game with mirrored chips and stylized snakes made of bone. Ask the guard a few questions. Never a bad idea to gather a little intelligence before heading into unknown waters, or cities, as the case may be. And tell the guard you wish to enter. Let's go have fun with our sailors. You're not thinking of going in there. The sailors gawk at you in unconcealed horror. They take turns telling you gruesome stories of Varkas which they no doubt invented whole cloth. Some are convinced that the Varkasi render sailors into tallow to light their city. Others say they steal shadows and sell them to their masters. All of them are convinced that they blind any strangers who dare to gaze too long upon their city's secrets. They're just waiting to be paid, and then we're off. One of the sailors says nervously, fingering a mirrored chip. I've only got one eye left, and I'd like to keep it. Choke on the smell. Let's choke on the smell. The flowers have white waxy leaves which leave powdery traces on your fingers. The light coming from the city has the same camphorous quality, and the smell, perfume worn too many days in the body. Unread books left to turn ink-stained pulp, a garden drowned and rotting in still waters. And let's ask the guard some questions. A blue-cloaked guard only acknowledges your existence when you step out of the darkness of the path and into the light from the lamps. Up close, the guard stands in the middle of the pool of light, looking warily at the darkness beyond you. Up close, the guard's blue cloak is threadbare and mostly along the hem. A pattern of embroidered suns runs along the collar, but the gold threads as though the coal around her eyes is smudged. Well, Thomas, she asks, are you going to ask your questions, or are you just going to stare? Her tone is brusque, but her expression is curiously eager. You do not think Varkas receives many visitors. Your name is not Thomas, you correct her politely. Ask about the light. It all seems a bit wasteful, possibly even ostentatious. Ask about her. Does she like her job? Does anyone? Ask about the city's customs. Best to know before you flout them. Easier to plan escape route that way. You have no more questions. Let's... First of all, I am offended. Well, not offended. Let's ask her politely that I am not Thomas. The guard looks scandalized and tries to stop her ears. All those who are not Varkasi are Thomas. You've been touched by darkness and it has taken your name. She fixes you with an admonishing look and adds, it is very ill mannered to pretend you still have one. You begin to see a little why Varkas is not often visited. It looks like you'll have to get used to being called a Thomas if you wish to enter. Let's ask her about her job. It's a great honor to guard the mirrored city gates. She snaps defensively. She gestures to the edge of the pool of light, illuminating her post. It is very dangerous. Even a small stumble and I could fall into the dark. Her voice goes steady. I would be banished from mere grace. I would lose my name. That's why they only send the bravest outside the walls. Okay, so a light coat. Hooray! Let's ask about the light. We must always walk in mirrors light, so we burn out our lamps night and day to banish darkness from the mirrored city. She tells you proudly, if we let darkness corrupt us, we would not be Varasi any longer, but Thomas, like you. You wonder, is that so terrible a fate? Her mocking laugh answers you, even before her words do. Yes, it would be terrible indeed. Thomas, and before you ask, she adds, no, I do not have any desire to leave Varas. The rest of me has fallen from Mir's grace, and I have no wish to join them. Let's city customs. Don't touch the mirrors. Don't even look into the mirrors, she says. Her voice is hard, and try very hard not to dream. You're expecting something along the lines of don't murder anyone, one or only wear red on special occasions, too. You know, then smile. And that's with our questions. Let's go inside the city. She makes a mark in her ledger before ringing a brass bell. The mirrors of the gates rearrange to give you a space to pass, but never once allow shadow to touch the guard. Our ways are not yours, Thomas. Remember that and walk in the light of Mir. An occurrence. Your Varkas, the mirrored city quality is now 1. Yay, I have a city in my pocket. Good to know. Shops? No shops. Wait. The walled city of Aras is a tango green vines and luminescent fungal flowers. Cities beacon against the tree hushed darkness. Yes. Welcome. The guard at the mirrored gate smiles. Clearly she remembers you. These stories will make port. Welcome. The guard at the mirrored gate smile. Oh, because I left it technically. The guard at the mirrored gate smiles. She remembers you. The blue cloaked guard waves you through the walking light of whatever. Your eyes are blinded by the brilliance of the light. The verdant road smells is even thicker. The heat of so much flame and reflected light presses oppressively against your skin. Your head pounds. It is a few minutes before your eyes just gilded sconces hang from every wall, and phosphorescent fungus grows moss-like upon doorways and ceilings. Cunningly arranged mirrors catch every droplet of light and diffuse it till each cobblestone and rampart of the city is drenched and blazing and utterly without a shadow. Who do you speak to? Let's see. The firekeeper, dressed all in saffron, a pair of thick fireproof gloves dangle from a silver chain at her waist. The white-cloaked guard, the sun's embroidered on his cloak are picked out with gold thread, and the edge is jeweled with carnelian. The fungus carter, her cart is piled high with fungal blooms and jars of algae, mainly scraped from the surface of walls. The jeweled turbaned youth, he's winking at you. That it a furtive wink or a flirtatious one? Only one way to find out. Continue your exploration. Time to venture further than the outer district. Let's continue inwards. The city gleams invitingly. You get used to the smell in time. You walk galleried courtyards wreathed with vines and fungal blooms. Long straight roadways crisscross the length and breadth of Varkas. The stone worn by the wheels of carts and the tread of thousands of slippery feet. Lamplighters constantly check the fuel levels of the scorns and replace wicks. Firekeepers check the cold spring mechanisms that control the angle of the mirrors. There is much to explore. Where will you go next? pilgrimage to the to Amaradri. The Aimoti seeks wisdom, the seeker ready to begin a long journey. The young and the restless have made their plans. The sword of the guard have been renewed. The pilgrimage is ready to begin. Okay. At evening, after the fifth bell, each tamas is assigned a room. Temple of Mir, it lies at the sacred district at the center of the Varkas. The guardhouse down a side street, you can see the sun blazoned flag from here. The hospital lies in the shadow of the southern tower. Entertainments in Varkas, there are bars and gaming houses to the west. Bars and gaming houses! We follow the clink of wine glasses and the companionable shout. Companionable shouts. Never heard the companionable as a word, but whatever. There are many available. There is not a Puritan god. The nicer establishments in the city are lit with expensive imported gas and have little blue glowing scintillac statuettes scattered on the shelves. What takes your fancy? Why is everything a... Join the gambling table. They're playing on an ornate board with pieces of mirrored chips and snakes made of bone. The arguing priest, they're having a wine-drenched debate on the tables. In the back, do you care to listen in? I'm sorry. The duelists, the courtyard is strewn with white sand. The duelists fight with curving twin blades, scimitars in each hand. You could try your luck in an exhibition match. A 49% chance. Let's try that, actually. The courtyard is tried your luck. Even an exhibition match requires some skill. Your rake across your opponent's arm with your first slash and the arbitrator's call of the match. Apparently it is very bad manners to draw blood. You hear someone mutter bloody hammers and dark touched and make a strategic retreat. Failed in a challenge track and you might have a better luck. 2 terror. First tower bell has sounded. No more. Okay, let's go to temple. Shadow of the southern tower. Let's go to the hospital. I missed a slide there, but whatever. The charitable hospital is a long galleried building divided into series of curtained wards with their own lights, horses and mirror series. God, why do I yawn and sneeze and everything? A door-faced nurse glances at you especially. Which ward are you here to visit? The fungal infections, the mirrorless room, the open ward. And a door-faced nurse looking uncomfortable when you mention it. Offer your services. I have like a very high hearts and I'm still failing at this. What is wrong with these people? The open ward, you see patients prone on their beds, playing card games and chatting to visitors. Most of them have minor injuries. Let's go to the open ward. Most of these wounds happened outside the city on hunting expeditions or trade missions. The door-faced nurse explains, severely raising her voice, which is why most of these maliners are guards. The patient nearest to her pretends to swoon, but what would I do away from your gentle, tender gaze of a nurse? He claps his hands to his bosom. Surely I would wither and perish. We'll see who withers when I give you your sponge bath, she retorts, and her patient draws up his blankets meekly through his mouth, still curves up in a smile. Yeah, that's what I expected. We definitely lost some horror from that interaction. Amazing. Mirror. Let's go to the mirrorless room. That is where we keep the mirror mud, she says with a shudder. The mirrors whispered to them, and instead of going to the sun priest, they whispered back. And you just abandon them in a locked room? You don't despise them. They are given food and water. Tending the mirror mud uses up almost as much fuel as Mir's tempo, because they can only be lit with direct lamplight. Don't dare let them near any mirrors. She shudders again. The mirror mud are worse than tamas. They no longer serve Mir, but other powers. Those that speak in dreams and visions. She refused to say anything else. And I'm back with one terror. And let's go with the fungal infection ward. Most of my day will be spent in this thing, in the hospital. The fungal inspection, it keeps them cool and closed off. The doors and the nurse all wear masks when they enter. How bad could the fungal infection be? The door-faced nurse tries a mask around your face before leading you into the ward, which is set over 2 floors. The first thing you notice are the patient's constant racking coughs. We give them syrup and remedies, the nurse tells you, but lung bloom is a chronic condition. Coughing is the only symptom in the milder cases, but as you walk further in, you begin to see hands and feet covered in mold, and then chests budding with little mushroom cups and lichen, and even a young girl with a fringed red-orange fungal flower blooming in place of an eye. It's the fungus harvester disease, the door-faced nurse tells you sadly, pulling you away. It only gets worse in the heat and light, but what can we do? And let's get out of here. The inn is still closed. The guardhouse. Let's go and see the guardhouse. What's going? The modern stone building in which bas-relief lanterns and wide and shuttered windows. The stylized son of Mir flutters from a silk flag above the portico. It is a science of controlled chaos. You can see the white-cloaked guards bustling to and fro within, shouting companionably to each other while the stream of fungus caters merchants and ordinary citizens petition them. Information recruits going to basic forms of the courtyard. There is a formation of new recruits. Train with the guards. Let's train with the guards. But actually I am going to cut it here, so as a first video, as my welcoming back, it's a little bit, it should be a normal length. But anyways, thank you for joining me and have a great day.